Marking needn't be a huge chore. St Joseph's College in Swindon has introduced a new marking strategy.
OK, does that look good? No?
Richard Blake is one of the teachers leading the way.
I made you a promise a couple of lessons ago. What was it? Chocolates, you're right. But you're going to have to work for them first. So, within the science department, we have worked to look at this issue of how can you make the marking feel easier, but to have an even greater impact with the students and their learning. Around the room, on the desks, there are some different questions. This question is about probabilities of sweets. You've got 1 minute to get yourself in a group, on a table, ready to have a look at the questions on the table and see if you can do them. Off you go. The students need to know where have they done something well, where could they improve, and how could they improve that to improve their work for next time. What you've got to do is work out the probability that if I choose a sweet at random, it will be orange.
This targeted marking system, now used in English, science and maths, centres around teachers posing a single question which is answered on a single piece of paper. This moves away from the traditional practice of marking every piece of work.
Make sure you've got a pen out, please. We started to come across the idea of, instead of marking everything in the student's book, focusing on one individual piece of work that they've completed. There you go, you need one of those each. I wanted one very simple question that could be asked, such as, what have you learnt today? Can you describe this? How would you explain that? What is the probability I choose a brown sweet? Don't just write the answer. I'd like you to write down how you would find out.
Quite often, members of staff are driven by breadth of content rather than depth of inquiry. And so, do you learn any more from giving a child 30 questions if you give them 5 targeted ones?
OK, guys, stop where you are.
The smaller, more targeted ways of doing it feed directly into the lesson, and there's an immediacy where that there is an impact that the student can benefit from straight away.
So, Liam, we asked the question, what is the probability that Mr. Blake will take an orange chocolate out of the tin? OK, and you've written...
Marking has now become flexible, to be done in the classroom, at home, or one-to-one.
And write the new answer and count them separately. What is vitally important is that the following lesson, the students are actually given time in that lesson to read the comments and, with their peers or with the teacher, work out what they could do next time to improve their work. Then, could I work out the probability?
Yeah.
I could. What would I do?
Would you times?
Nice idea. OK, so let's go for an example and see what happens.
Marking in this way has had benefits for the school's teaching staff. Firstly, there's less marking at home, but also it's helped to highlight gaps in pupils' knowledge.
OK. So the main impact that I saw was that the teachers were saying to me, I didn't realise that my students didn't understand that part of my lesson.
This policy is now likely to be rolled out across the whole curriculum at St Joseph's and is expected to evolve naturally to suit each subject, year group and topic.
Laura, we're going to look at your work now. Do you want to read your answer out? Because it was brilliant.
First you would separate all of the sweets into a colour patch. Then you would count...
There is a feeling, an infectious feeling that you get as a teacher when you realise that a student has understood something or grasped something new or has improved, and nothing in the world can take that feeling away. OK, I'm not going to ask you to answer it now. I want you to go away, think about it and come back to the next lesson. Thank you, Laura. That's great.